What is up, guys and girls? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having fun, and I hope you're all getting out on the water as much as possible. We are back with you from La Ventana again in Mexico. We are making another Wingfoil video, this time about how to tack. Specifically, we're going to focus on the toe side tack. I think that's the easiest and the first one you should be trying. The heel side tack is a little bit more tricky to kind of master. So we're going to look at the toe side tack. Now, of course, the best way to learn is to get a lesson with someone, see it up close, or go and ride with a lot of people that might already be doing it so you can have a clear look. Best place to do that, Reckless Riders in Rhodes, Greece. That'll get you in the mood for learning new things. But for now, let's stick to YouTube, right? Until the summer comes. Now, first thing you want to do, of course, to do a toe side tack is you want to be toe side. So you want to be switch stance, right? Now, whether you do that by entering switch stance, so from here, we already have a video on that, right? I'll put it up on the top here so you can have a look at that. If you want to enter switch stance, back foot out, get low, pop up as it goes up, back foot front, front foot back, and again, you're sailing switch stance. Get into both straps, and you're good to go. If you have straps, of course. If you're strapless, that's still fine. Straps are definitely not necessary for any of the moves we're looking at. Now, the other way, of course, to enter switch stance is simply jibe. Stay in switch stance, come all the way back in switch stance if that's what you're comfortable with, and then it's a good opportunity to try your toe side tack. Now, what is a toe side tack? It is a tack, it's an upwind turn, so carving upwind and turning to leave the other side again, but we're doing it on our toe side, so we always are starting in switch stance and we end in a normal stance. Now, to do this, the carve, to do the toe side tack, what we're looking for, like with any of these maneuvers that requires a lot of glide around, is speed. So we want to go as fast as possible. That means that when you are toe side and riding, don't necessarily ride upwind from the beginning unless you're really comfortable riding switch stance and you're able to take a lot of speed and power in any direction you're going. If you're not quite there yet, or if you're not sure the wind's not strong enough and you want to pick up more speed, you go downwind a little bit, pick up as much speed as you can wherever you're comfortable, and then when you're ready for the tack, we're going to start to turn upwind. Now, how do we turn upwind? How do we start carving in? Well, it's exactly that. It's a carve, so it's mostly to do with the board. We're going to start carving upwind and focus on keeping that carve. This is one of the number one most important parts that people forget, keeping that carve smooth and steady throughout. So we're not going nice and wide and then suddenly sharp, or sharp and then try to widen it up. We need to maintain the speed and the smoothness of the carve. So we do that by going nice and smoothly throughout the whole carve. That's number one thing to remember. Now, of course, besides the carving the board, you can also start pulling the wing back towards the back of the board and into you. That will increase your speed while going into the carve. And then when you start that carving, you start going upwind. When you get to a position where you feel that your power in the wing, because you're upwind, is now diminishing, what you want to do is get that wing up over your head. But of course, the carve doesn't stop, right? You're still focusing on that carve and getting your carve around. And you keep going around, 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 around. And now, one thing to remember besides the carve before you get all the way around is that when you keep this wing up on top of you, the natural feeling you're going to have, what you're going to do whether you like it or not, is you're going to let that wing pull your arm back, so you end up in a position kind of like this, going around. Now, what this does, it catches a lot of wind and creates a lot of drag, and it pulls your body back a little bit and stops the speed. It slows you down and it makes you lose a lot of that speed of going around. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep this wing up, and this is one of the most important tips for the toe side tack, or any tack really, and keep that wing up and ahead of you a little bit. So keep it here. You got to get the feeling that it's in front of you, right? So that you can keep your body weight forward, keep that board flat throughout the turn, and this is going to get you going all the way around. What the board is doing is extremely important for the toe side tack, and if the wing affects you, that's what you want to get out of the way. You want to get out one of the negative effects, which is the wind. So keep it here. Don't let it pull you back like this while you're going around. It's going to really slow you down and destroy the smoothness of your carve. So keep it right here in front of you, keep carving around, and then while you're keeping that carve nice and steady and smooth, when you get all the way around, so you want to come pointing the other direction, so you're here, you're going to change your hands. You see, I'm already, by being in this direction, what happens is the wing is already falling into position on its own, especially when I keep it in front. If I keep it behind me here, it's just dragging me back and it's not really reacting. If I keep it here, it's following my carve. You see how that wing opens up the moment it's in front of me. So now the next step and next big tip is when you want to catch this wing, switch your hands here, and you see I'm doing all this in front of me. I'm doing it here. Don't let it fall back like we said before, and don't catch it next to you. It's very similar to the jive that we talked about in another video. So we want to end that turn with the wing in front here. When the wing is in front and I switch my hands and I catch it, I catch power, and this power in front of me is going to not only accelerate me and help me pull out of the turn, but if your board is not turned enough, if your carve is still at this point, this is not where you want to come out. Ideally on Wingfoil tacks, what you want is you want to come out a little bit more downwind, right? So you can accelerate out of the turn. So by keeping that wing in front of you here, it's going to pull you the rest of the way around, accelerate you out, and give you the chance to regain and maintain speed so that you can fly out of your turn nice and easily. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Let's see that once again from the other direction. So as we're going here, we switch stance, right? We're riding. Go downwind a little bit if you need to pick up speed. Speed is key on this. Then we're going to start carving upwind. As we go upwind on the board, when we get to a point where we're feeling like we can't really use the power anymore, and we definitely don't want this wing pulling us out to the side, right? We're doing until where it's comfortable. Don't force this. It's more to do with the glide of the foil, not so much with how much power you can keep in your wing. So you glide around, you carve around. The moment you're coming around, open up the wing over your head and keep it in front of you. Focus on that carve that is going all the way around. As you're getting around, when you get to the other side, we said the board, the carve, everything is nice and stable. As we get to the other side, somewhere here already, we switch our hands, and while we're doing this, you do it in front of us, and you see that wing is already falling into position the side you want it. So you switch in front of you, you keep it in front of you, and you power up in front of you here. This will help you finish that carve and speed you out of the turn. So the moment you grab, it goes whoop, around the rest of the way. You're in the correct stance now, you're in the normal stance, and it's pulling you out and speeding you and letting you fly nice and normally. So I hope all that makes sense. Let's recap the main tips. First of all, like with most maneuvers to do in wingfoiling, speed, right? Speed is key. Speed is your friend. It will get you around that carve as nice and as smooth as possible. Second, start to carve. And remember, it's more to do with the board rather than the wing. The wing is just something giving you speed to begin with. So once you start carving, focus on that carve being nice and smooth and steady throughout. No variations of like sharp carves or southern carves in the beginning and opening it up the end. Keep it nice and smooth the whole way around. That wing, while you're starting to carve, when you're getting really into that carve, you keep it over the head and neutral, and you keep it in front of you. Don't let it pull back where it naturally feels like it wants to go. It will create a lot of drag and cut a lot of your speed. So keep it in front of you, bend forwards, keep that board flat. Again, it's about the board. Get it all the way around. Once you're ending the turn, once you're getting to the other side, grab the wing in front of you, not behind you. Grab the wing in front of you to end your turn. Catch the power and let that power pull you forwards, accelerating you out of the turn and giving you the rest of the carve if you're missing any of that kind of little percentage of turn just to get you going downwind on the other way. Okay, so again, speed, focus on the carve, keep it nice and steady, wing ahead of you and catch it ahead of you and to accelerate out of the turn. Okay, I hope that helps, guys. That is the toe side tack, the way I do it and the way I like to teach it. If you like the video, please like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. There's a lot more videos to come in the future. Leave a comment with anything you might want to say, whether it's just a hello, a thank you, or a suggestion for a future video, or of course any questions you might have on the actual toe side tack. And I hope these tips and tricks help you, and if they do, share with some other friends that might need that help. I hope you all enjoyed, guys. It was good talking to you again, so see you on the water.